Good evening and namaste. It's really fantastic to see such a fantastic full house here today. And it's really my honor to be speaking after Mr. Kulchandra Gautam and Your Excellency. The First World War ended today, exactly 103 years ago. More than 100,000 British Gurkhas fought in the First World War, and I have vivid memories as a middle school student celebrating Remembrance Day. At the time, I may not have understood its significance, but reflecting on this today, I realize that our then small Himalayan kingdom, which opened up to the world only in the 1950s, already had a role to play in world affairs. As we sit here today, hosted by the Nepal Economic Forum, mulling over our young secular Republic of Nepal and its role in an increasingly globalized world, I feel like our land-linked country is at a critical juncture. The actions we take forward today for issues around inclusion and equity, climate change, and digital citizenship will redefine the development trajectory for Nepal. Nepalis all around the world have been leaving their mark in multiple sectors, holding very senior positions in global institutions, or in creating their own global brands. At the same time, Nepalis who have come back to the country after completing their education abroad or working abroad have made significant contributions to the betterment of our country. We're fortunate to see and interact with many living examples of the same in the audience here today. As the Nepal Economic Forum completes 11 years, it has played an important role in creating a platform for youthful voices. NEF has encouraged timely reflection on the development of Nepal from a youth perspective and has played a vital role in linking academic research to policy recommendations. The Nepal Economic Forum is similar to the World Economic Forum, playing a key role as a catalyst for multi-stakeholder engagement. In 2011, Professor Klaus Schwab, the founder of the World Economic Forum, envisioned the Global Shapers community to ensure that young people under the age of 30 had a seat at the decision-making table. The whole idea for this community stemmed from encouraging young people with energy and innovative ideas to come together for projects of impact across various sectors. Just this year, over 1,000 projects were completed by Shapers globally in an attempt to improve the state of the world, one community at a time. I was fortunate enough to become a global shaper in 2014 as a result of the work that I was doing to create stable community centers in the heart of instability in internal migrant slums in Kathmandu Valley. In 2015, when the Gorkha earthquake struck, the Kathmandu hub really became a force for good. We raised over $500,000 and delivered ambitious projects of not just disaster relief and rehabilitation, but reconstruction. The strength of the Shapers Network is really linked to a sense of belonging, identifying with a higher purpose of doing good for our local community, no matter where we are in the world. But COVID-19 really has shaken all of us to the core, disrupted life as we knew it, and forced us to adapt to a new normal. Globally, we, as the young people, are one of the most affected demographic when it comes to the world's rising socio-economic, political, and environmental crises, and the scenario is no different in Nepal. A recent survey report by the ILO and Niti Foundation on youth anxiety, aspiration, and activism paints a relatively bleak picture as we come out of the pandemic. Only 34% of the 2,000 youth that were surveyed believe that the country is headed in the right direction. This is significantly less than the 2018 National Governance Survey that found 80% of the youth believe the same. I think this point resonates with some of the comments made by Kulji earlier and touches on the pandemic mindset. 84% of the youth surveyed reported having anxiety due to COVID-19. In order to address the issues that young people are facing today, the Kathmandu Hub has been shaping the discourse in prioritizing open conversations about mental health through mess-up nights and organizing wellness weekends, along with taking forward a virtual campaign called #YouMatter. If you look at the current discourse around climate change and the environment, we are at a higher risk than many of our counterparts. The World Bank estimates that Nepal will experience twice as much flooding due to rising temperatures by 2030. We are inheriting the policy outcomes of decisions that were made without us being consulted, yet we're the ones who in the long run will bear the brunt of it. In this context, it is critical that we take the issue of intergenerational parity very seriously and encourage all institutions in all sectors to include young people as the most important stakeholder when we're talking about the future. The silver lining to the youth mindset is the fact that more than 70% of the same youth that were surveyed expressed a preference to work and stay in Nepal, and only 9% of the youth wanted to go overseas for foreign employment. I urge all the public, private, and development institutions here to think about the possibilities if we're able to constructively tap into this sentiment and design pathways for leadership for deserving candidates. We have long spoken about the demographic dividend, but the time to act is now, as in another 25 years, we will transition out of the demographic window of opportunity. If we zoom out and place Nepal in the context of South Asia, the megatrends of the region provide a much more optimistic outlook in spite of the historical constraints. South Asia overall has a growing young and educated working population, a growing middle class, and there are many new emerging opportunities for agile organizations who've been able to adapt and leapfrog their business models to changing times. India's e-commerce industry is expected to grow by a staggering 84% to 111 billion by 2024. In contrast, Nepal, which has a very high internet penetration rate and a formidable youth population, has not been able to leverage the potential of an internet-based economy and the e-commerce boom. We need to invest in digital infrastructure and training and address the potential digital divide and inequities that could arise, as digital literacy and citizenship will be key to competing in the region. The World Economic Stewardship Board brings together senior government officials, media leaders, private sector leaders to transform the potential of South Asia through public-private cooperation. As the only member from Nepal on this board, I've had a chance to showcase some perspectives about Nepal as a shaper and as someone who has worked both in the development and private sector. As a part of the working group, we've also focused on accelerating digital transformation for the betterment of education and employment, and we've started some important discussions between India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. I'm keen to further engage with the Nepal Economic Forum and the partners to see what action we can take forward, perhaps by drawing linkages with the Center for Digital Transformation. I welcome all of you in the audience to reach out to me anytime if you'd like to connect me to impactful projects on the ground that would benefit from regional synergies. I would also urge everyone here to really think about the power of intergenerational parity and ensure that the voice of the new generation is heard and our ideas are translated into constructive and impactful action. To all of my contemporaries in the audience today, you know you are best placed to lead the transition to a more equitable future. It is your next big idea that has the power to shape the economic, political, and social discourse of Nepal and the world. Thank you, Suji, for giving me this opportunity to engage with the Nepal Economic Forum, and I really hope to bring in some additional value to the incredible work that has already been going on for more than a decade. Thank you.